Hello again, Chris Lee and Chase Robinson here to break down three keys if Texas A&M is to beat Missouri. Chase, let's hop right into it. Your number one key for A&M on Saturday.
Well, I think a big thing for A&M going into this game is to win the battle when it comes to running the football. If they win the run game, I think that'll be big. I mean, sitting right now, Texas A&M is 13 in rush yards per game in the country, averaging 231.6. And so if they're able to run the ball and consistently run the ball Saturday against Missouri, I think that's going to give their offense a good chance to put some points on the board and maybe to balance things out. But still, I think if you win the battle when it comes to running the football, because Missouri has a good run game as well, if you can win that battle when it comes to running the football, I think Texas A&M has a really good chance of getting things done there on their home field in College Station. But I really like the way and that Texas A&M has been running the football, and I was wondering how things would be without Reuben Owens, without another guy in that running back room with the guys that they already do have. But they've done great, being down a guy. There's other guys who've stepped up, but I really like the way the Aggies have been running the football, and I think we really need to see that Saturday against Missouri.
Well, there's two aspects to that. LeVeon Moss has been a really good player for them, but also Marcel Reed, their quarterback, who's very mobile.
Yes.
And last time we saw Missouri play, Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt gave them a lot of trouble. And I think Reed might be a little bit more athletic. I'm not sure. Pavia just gets it done a lot of times by guile and toughness. But point is, Vanderbilt was able to stay in that game through a quarterback who could break a defense down, on third and long and move the chains. And I think those are two places where A&M's got a chance to make a difference.
You're right, and I think that's a good comparison. Look, Marcel Reed, I think is doing a good job of coming in here and doing some things maybe that we weren't expecting A&M to be able to do, because he is a dual threat guy, because he does have some speed on him and is able to run. And so, yeah, if they incorporate him along with the other running backs, I think that is an excellent recipe there for Texas A&M.
All right, key number two, Chase.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Texas A&M is limiting big plays. I think we're in a situation here that A&M has not always been able to do that this season, and they've been big played, and so Missouri has capabilities to do that with Brady Cook, their quarterback, with guys like Luther Burden and Theo Weiss and some of these other receivers that they have. They can get into your secondary and get some big plays. And so I think if Texas A&M can limit those big plays, kind of put Missouri into a box a little bit and keep them tight and inside and without getting into the second level of your defense, I think that will be big for Texas A&M to limit those big plays and really correct what the lack of that we've been seeing so far this season.
Yeah, I think the concerns, if you're A&M, they're giving up 4.8 yards per running play, and you got Nate Noel, who went for $1.99 against Vandy last time out. And part of that was he found some big holes in the middle of that line. And I think A&M will put better athletes who are harder to block out there than Vanderbilt did. But it is a concern because they've got two guys, and he and Carroll, who can really run it. And I think the second thing is just Luther Burden. Now, I don't think Luther Burden has had vintage Luther Burden games yet, but that could come at any minute. I think that's your number one concern if you're Texas A&M.
Yeah, and he's a tough player to guard, to protect from getting out there and making those big plays. And so, Texas A&M has seen some good receivers. I think an advantage for A&M is the fact that they have seen a team like Notre Dame to start the season, and they've been big played by them and been able to adjust since that game. And so maybe that's an advantage for them, having played such a tough team to start the season.
Before we get to key number three, we'll remind you BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino, get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on all the action. You could even put something out on this one. Was it, I think, 1.5 is we're doing this, Chase?
Round 2, according to BetOnline.
Okay. Anyway, BetOnline, the game starts here. Chase Robinson, key number 3 for Missouri.
Yeah, I think a big thing going into this game is focus. Focus on the task ahead. And that can be going back to what I just said with big plays. It can go with turnovers and making turnovers happen. I think if you go into this game, look, Texas A&M coming into this game again, according to our friends there at Bet Online, Texas A&M is a 2-point favorite in this game over Missouri. Number 25 A&M, number 9 Missouri, and so they're the 2-point favorite at home. Look, I think if A&M's just focused, I feel like that was an issue against Notre Dame. They had some good moments in that game, but maybe they just weren't focused. So if they come out with some focus, with some drive here, force some turnovers, protect your own football, and going back to limiting big plays there, focusing on the task at hand, I think that could go a long way for A&M. Look, I think this could be a really fun game. This is two good teams. I think A&M is really just a few plays away from winning that Notre Dame game, and the season looking totally different. And so I think focus could be really, really big for A&M in this matchup.
Yeah, and when I've watched Missouri, look, that's a good ball team, a really good ball team. So we're not trying to be down on Missouri here. What we're doing is just pointing out things we've seen, and you've seen Missouri draw some senseless personal foul penalties after the play's over. If you're A&M, maybe you bait them into one or two of those. I think you've seen Missouri's defense lose focus at times. You saw in the Boston College game, they hit a big play to the tight end because the snap exchange was fumbled.
Yeah.
Safety started to bite on that. They're not going to get the ball from 30 yards away, 20 yards away. Lost focus. Tight end got open for like an 80-yard touchdown. Another one. You saw them lose a freshman receiver for Vanderbilt last week who'd never caught a ball, got wide open behind the defense. Now, those to me are not things of ability. They're just things of paying attention and keeping your discipline. Now, I can assure you Eli Drinkwitz with 2 weeks off will be hammering those things home and probably won't come that easy, but they are things that have shown up on film, Chase.
They are, and that's a good point with a bye week there. You got to imagine he's hammering those things home, but that is something I think in different areas Texas A&M can take advantage of if they themselves are focused. And so I think again it sets up for what can be a really fun matchup in College Station on Saturday. Barring Texas A&M can do these things again, they're favored. They're the 2-point favorite in this game. Even though that they are the lower ranked team, and so it should be fun regardless of what happens Saturday.
Well, we'll be here to talk about it afterwards. We do a live stream Saturday night where we talk about all the day's action. Usually the last game is going on while we're doing it, so that can make for some fun at times. But in any case, we'll be talking about this one. Whoever wins, whoever loses, we'll cover it. Best way to get that, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you don't mind, please enable your notifications so you know when we go live. We do baseball, football, basketball year round. We reach millions of people. So if you want to advertise, caroline.smith at southeastern14.com is where you direct your emails. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16 presented by Bet Online.